Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Before we jump into today's topic, I want to ask you something. When was the last time you actually thought about how technology is changing the game you love? Because what's coming to baseball in 2026 is going to flip everything you know about balls and strikes on its head. And honestly, I think most fans have no idea what's about to hit them. Real quick, though, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we're diving deep into baseball content you won't find anywhere else. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming this year. All right, let's get into it. So, Major League Baseball is rolling out something called the ABS system for the 2026 season, and I'm talking full implementation across every single game. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, what the hell is ABS? Let me break it down for you. It stands for Automated Ball Strike System, and basically it's giving teams the power to challenge calls made by home plate umpires. Each team gets exactly 2 challenges per game to dispute whether a pitch was called correctly as a ball or strike. Here's where it gets interesting, though. If you challenge a call and you're right, you keep that challenge. But if you're wrong, it's gone. So you're down to 1 challenge, and if you blow that second one, you're done for the rest of the game. No more challenges, no more safety net. This means players and coaches need to be incredibly strategic about when they use these challenges, because we've all seen how one bad call in the 7th or 8th inning can completely change the outcome of a game. Now, not just anyone can challenge these calls. Only 3 people on the field have that power: the batter currently in the box, the pitcher on the mound, and the catcher behind the plate. That's it. No other fielders, no coaches from the dugout, nobody else. It's got to come from one of those 3 players actively involved in that pitch. And you know what that means? These guys better know what they're doing, because if a shortstop or a manager thinks a call was terrible, but the batter doesn't challenge it, that opportunity is lost forever. Think about the pressure that puts on these players. You're standing in the batter's box, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, and you get rung up on what you think is ball 4. Do you challenge it? What if you're wrong and there's another questionable pitch later in the at-bat? These split-second decisions are going to matter so much more now. The ABS system isn't some brand new experimental thing they're just throwing at the majors out of nowhere. This has been tested extensively in the minor leagues for years. If you caught any spring training games last year or watched the All-Star game, you saw this system in action. They've been working out the kinks, figuring out what works and what doesn't, and apparently Commissioner Rob Manfred and the league office think it's ready for prime time. Phillies manager Rob Thompson has actually been pretty vocal about this whole thing, and from what he's saying, he seems cautiously optimistic. He mentioned wanting to sit down with the team's AAA coaching staff because those guys have way more experience with the ABS system than anyone at the major league level. Thompson said he really liked what he saw during spring training last year, and he thinks most players are on board with it too. That's a pretty significant endorsement from a guy who's been around baseball his entire life. But here's the reality. Not everyone's thrilled about this. Thompson admitted there are some players who aren't exactly keen on the idea. You've got your old school guys who think this is just another example of technology ruining the human element of baseball. And look, I get it. Part of baseball's charm has always been that human error is built into the game. Umpires blow calls, players argue, sometimes you get tossed from a game. It's been that way for over 100 years. But let's be honest with ourselves for a second. How many times have we watched our team lose a crucial game because an umpire missed an obvious call? How many times have we seen a star player get ejected in the first inning over a blown strike 3 call, and then fans who paid good money to see that player are stuck watching the game without him? That stuff genuinely impacts the sport in negative ways. I think about a scenario like this. Imagine you're a kid who saved up allowance money, or your parents dropped a couple $100 on tickets specifically to see someone like Bryce Harper play. You get to the stadium, you're pumped, you've got your Harper jersey on, and then in the first inning, he gets tossed because he argued a terrible call. That kid's whole experience is ruined. With the ABS system, maybe Harper challenges that call, maybe it gets overturned, and everyone moves on. The game continues with the star player on the field where he belongs. This system is going to add a completely different layer of strategy to baseball. Managers and players are going to need to game plan around these challenges, just like they game plan around pitching changes or defensive shifts. When do you use them? Do you save both challenges for high leverage situations late in the game? Do you use one early if it's clearly a bad call? These are legitimate tactical decisions that could determine wins and losses. One thing Thompson said that stuck with me was how he plans to lean on the organization's minor league staff for insights. That's smart management right there. Why try to reinvent the wheel when you've got coaches and players in your system who've been living with this technology for seasons already? They know the nuances, they know the gotchas, they know when it's worth challenging and when it's not. That institutional knowledge is going to be valuable as teams adjust to this new reality. The evolution of baseball is inevitable, whether people like it or not. Sports evolve, rules change, technology advances. We saw it with instant replay review. We saw it with the pitch clock. We saw it with restrictions on defensive shifts. Every single time there's pushback from purists who think the game is being destroyed, and every single time the sport adapts and moves forward. The ABS challenge system is just the next step in that progression. What I find fascinating is how this could potentially change the relationship between players and umpires. Right now, if you argue too much, you're getting tossed. But with challenges available, maybe there's less arguing because players know they have a mechanism to dispute calls, or maybe it goes the other way and creates more tension because now there's definitive proof when an umpire screws up. It's going to be really interesting to watch how that dynamic shifts over the course of the season. From a fan perspective, I think this makes the game more engaging. Instead of just yelling at the TV when your team gets hosed on a call, now you're watching to see if they'll challenge it. There's an extra element of drama and strategy that didn't exist before. And when a challenge gets reviewed and overturned, that's a huge momentum swing that everyone in the stadium and watching at home can rally around. The technology itself has come a long way. The tracking systems they use now are incredibly accurate, way more accurate than the human eye can possibly be at judging whether a 98-mile-per-hour fastball caught the corner of the strike zone or missed by a quarter inch. We're talking about precision measurements that can definitively tell you where a pitch crossed the plate. That level of accuracy should excite people, not scare them away. I also think about how this impacts young players coming up through the system. If they've been dealing with the ABS challenge system throughout their minor league careers, it's going to be second nature to them by the time they reach the majors. They'll know when to challenge, they'll understand the strategy, and they'll be comfortable with the technology. Meanwhile, veterans who've played their entire careers without it might struggle to adapt initially. That generational divide could be really interesting to watch play out. The reality is that baseball has always been a sport that resists change, but it's also a sport that has consistently proven it can adapt and thrive when changes are implemented thoughtfully. The pitch clock was supposed to ruin baseball, and instead it made games more watchable and brought in new fans. The ABS challenge system could have a similar impact by reducing frustrating moments where everyone except the umpire knew a call was wrong. Look, I'm not saying this system is going to be perfect from day one. There will probably be controversies. There will probably be weird situations that nobody anticipated, and there will definitely be growing pains as teams and players figure out how to maximize the system. But that's true of any major change. What matters is whether the overall impact is positive, and based on everything we've seen from the minor leagues and spring training, it seems like this is going to make baseball better. The 2026 season is going to be fascinating for so many reasons, but the implementation of the ABS challenge system might be one of the most significant changes to how games are actually played and managed. Every team is going to approach it differently. Every manager is going to have their own philosophy about when and how to use challenges, and we're going to see strategies evolve in real time throughout the season. I think Rob Thompson and the Phillies are taking the right approach by embracing this change and learning from people who've already experienced it. That proactive mindset could give them an edge, especially in close games where one overturned call could be the difference between winning and losing. And in a division as competitive as the NL East, every little advantage matters. So that's my take on the ABS challenge system coming to Major League Baseball in 2026. I'm genuinely excited to see how it plays out, how players adapt, and how it impacts the game we all love. Whether you're a fan of the technology or you think it's ruining baseball's soul, it's happening, and we're all going to experience it together starting this season. Let me know in the comments what you think about the ABS system. Are you excited about it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's going to change baseball for better or worse? I want to hear your thoughts, because this is the kind of thing that fans are going to be debating all season long. And if you made it this far, seriously, hit that subscribe button, because we're going to be covering everything baseball throughout 2026, and you don't want to miss any of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.